Everybody. Yes, and we see these little tiny paintings here, the Exquisite Miniatures, and we are here at the Neville Public Museum with Director Beth Lemke and Deputy Director Kevin Cullen to talk a little bit about the new exhibit that is here in the Neville, and it is Exquisite Miniatures. And if you can't see, I'm going to turn it over to Shelby in a second, but these paintings are what, 9 to 10 centimeters in width and height?
Just a couple inches each, yeah.
Wow.
I mean, look at this. They're incredible. They really are. There are all these nice little frames here.
So
appreciate
that's
it.
quite small. That's maybe an inch and a half.
Oh my gosh. And there's really a lot of detail
Hummingbird,
within that
yeah.
little space there.
So it's watercolor. So this is the artist, husband and wife duo, Wes Segrist and Rachelle Segrist. And there's over 60 paintings of that miniature size, ranging from animals, as you saw with the hummingbird, to cityscapes, architecture, and people.
Now, did they really explain where the inspiration came about for this? I mean, they obviously have a very big passion for painting and painting small and their subject matter.
Yeah, so I mean, if you just look, you actually can kind of make out where some of them are. So there's, if you look, Cayuga is a place on the Baja Peninsula in Mexico where they go and they paint the scenes of the boats and the fishermen, and so you can kind of tease out some of their travels, and then they take those photographs back to their studio, and there's techniques that they've developed over years of practice and study is to miniaturize then that photograph into a very small detail. So the paintbrushes, we have an example when you walk in of how small the hairs have to be. It's like literally probably one horse or two horse hairs, to be able to create that painting.
That's incredible. So when people come in here, is there a place you recommend for them to start and kind of go around the room? Any place to start?
I think it's the way our exhibit technician laid it out is it is by subject matter, but I think it's so well laid out that you can kind of travel around the space and find something that is of interest to you. It really does encourage you to get nice and close to it so that way you can see, you know, what those little details are.
Yeah. How did the Neville find this exhibit, or what was the attraction to the organization of bringing this in this winter?
Everybody likes, either you like things that are ginormous or you like things that are tiny. And so kind of
either
that's
one or the
tiny
other.
part of things. And because the artists are from Tennessee, it's kind of that Midwestern region. So that was kind of a neat part of it. Every week we get several emails from traveling exhibition companies and looking at it, is it a right fit for our mission? Our mission is to bridge communities and connect generations.
Yeah.
So when we look at things, it's how does this fit into what we're trying to do? And we were intrigued because of the tininess of it.
Yeah, related to our collection, we knew that we could, access little objects that we don't normally pull out and put on exhibit, and they kind of complement each other in some ways. So it is a traveling exhibition. David Wagner out of Milwaukee has various exhibitions that he takes in even internationally. So we were able to obtain at least access to these artists and these pieces from that, and then we're looking forward to the next big art exhibit that we're bringing up, which is another conversation we'll have about this summer at a lot larger scale. Let's just put it that way.
You said there's over 60 pieces in here, or 60.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a personal favorite? I don't know if it's within this
Well,
immediate area, but
Can you go on a walkabout? I don't know.
Yeah.
You can take the camera around.
yeah, sure. I mean, why not? You would want to kind of stick
I
around
show
with us.
you, there's some wonderful pieces down there. At
All
least
right.
it's for me. I don't know, Beth, if you have yours in
Head on
mind.
this way.
Right.
Thanks, Jeff, for operating our camera.
No problem.
Steadicam.
Yes. So we're just in here.
Yeah, so Guayamas, Mexico. I was looking it up. So here it is, basically, if we zoom out on Google Earth. So there's North America and Mexico, and it's down in here. Guayamas. It's a port town, and obviously fishing trawlers, and then you have the nautical scene. I think that for me, I've got a kind of a personal interest anyway in the maritime world. So just seeing
boats
boats
and
and
that
that kind of visual with the landscape, of course. And so I think my favorite, if I was to say, it's a tough call between the fishermen and their nets pulling in with the landscape. You got the birds in there. So just that kind of landscape scene for me sort of speaks to their style of their.
Well, we have a huge boating culture here too with our boat nerds, our ship nerds. So I'm sure that they would love to see these paintings as well.
Yeah, but they'd love to see you too. So yeah, there we go.
Talk to anybody who
We
wants to chat about it.
we did have one of our regular viewers, Dave Forrester, comment say that there's 1 hair per paintbrush in order to make these.
He was pretty shocked by
Yeah,
that.
so
It's pretty amazing thing about working on that sort of level of detail.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about when this exhibit is going to be here.
So it opened last weekend,
Okay.
and it's with us through March 25th. So it's with our art exhibits. It's not for several months, but we've got it through the start of the spring, and we're open Tuesday through Sunday. So we're closed on Mondays, but all of our hours are posted on NevillePublicMuseum.com. And yeah, definitely come check us out.
Admission?
Admission, we do have admission for adults it's $7, for youth it's $3.
Okay.
Veterans free year round, and spouses or significant others of veterans half price.
Oh, wonderful.
And Brown County, because we're part of Brown County, the first Wednesday of each month
It's resident day or
Exactly.
free day for Brown County.
So we have one coming up, I believe, next week, where it'll be from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. free for Brown County residents.
Oh, wonderful.
So a nice opportunity to check out this exhibit.
Very nice. And the admission gets you access to
Everything.
the exquisite miniatures here, but also, as you said, the rest of the Neville Public Museum.
Absolutely.
Well, very cool. Thank you guys so much for talking with us a little bit about exquisite miniatures here.
Yeah.
A little bit.
A little bit.
A
Oh,
little
just
bit.
a little
Yes,
bit.
terrible jokes. I'm the terrible joke maker. But so, and definitely, if you haven't already, be sure to plan to come down here and check out some of the exquisite miniature paintings and some of the items from the collection of the Neville Public Museum.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. And make sure to like Neville Public Museum on Facebook as well,
Yeah, definitely
right?
so. Check them out.
Well, Jeff, you are our weatherman today.
Yes, indeed, and we are looking at a high of 24 and a low of 13. And following that up, I hear it's going to be warmer tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be like 48 degrees tomorrow. Or no, Friday. Sorry,
Friday. But so it's going to be a little cold for right now. In the meantime, but mostly cloudy most of the day. So don't get planning on seeing too much of the sun.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Well, we have an interesting story up on our website today from Mr. Rich Ryman talking about the Polar Plunge coming to Landville Field in the
Yes.
parking lot area.
In the
right?
parking lot, apparently, or
Yes.
maybe the Townsendville Tailgate Village. On top of that,
Right.
this is an event that benefits Special Olympics Wisconsin
Mm-hmm.
every year. Very cool program. And you had told me how much.
Last year,
They raised last year,
specifically for this type of event, the Polar Plunge, they raised almost $140,000 for Special Olympics of Wisconsin.
Bravo, everybody.
I
Thank
know.
you so much.
It's amazing. People really get into this kind of stuff. You see
Oh,
it all
yeah.
over social media, but I think people, like to have fun and do something good for the community. So there
Definitely
you go.
so.
Doing two things at once.
And speaking of doing two things at once,
Yeah.
good transition there.
Oh, yes.
De Pere has announced that for about 60 days, beginning in June, they're going to close the Main and Lawrence intersection right near I-41
Okay.
to put in everybody's favorite traffic device, a roundabout.
Everyone's favorite Jeff? I
Okay,
don't know
show
about
of
that.
hands, favorite. I love it.
I do like them now that I've lived
Okay.
here for a while.
Yes, but the
oldie,
learning curve is
no.
steep.
Yeah.
The learning curve can be a little rough, but I just try to think about every red light that I am not sitting at because there's a roundabout.
I can think of one person who's not a fan of roundabouts, and that's my mother.
Oh.
So there's another one.
We'll work on it, please, Thomas. We'll get you trained in time.
Yes.
So, but yeah. So the side benefit of this is that it's going to, by putting a roundabout in right kind of by McDonald's, it's going to ease up some of the traffic issues on there, take
Okay.
a couple of accesses off of Main, and facilitate the development of an Aldi grocery store across Lawrence Drive from McDonald's. So a lot of cool stuff happening in there. It's going to be busy, but you don't know.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if you listen to the radio, but I do listen to the radio every morning as far as the traffic updates.
Yes.
They'll always say nothing but the Main Avenue roundabout here. So you can always expect that to be an issue, so maybe this will make things easier over
Well,
there.
I hope it will make things easier. I mean, it is a bit of a mess over there.
Yes.
I mean, just it's a traffic headache. So
During rush hours, yep, not good.
Oh my word, yes. I'm never in it at rush hour, and it's a problem. But anyway, so hopefully, this helps out. But just be ready. Work is going to start in mid-April, and then the big closure begins mid-June. So.
Okay. Well, it's Wednesday again
It
today.
is. It's
so
column time.
It is column day. So this new app that I discovered, technically it's not new, so it's been around for a
Yeah.
couple of years, but a lot of people are talking about it now simply because the flu season this year has been really bad.
Yeah.
So it's this app called Sick Weather that tracks illnesses in your area. So
Okay.
when you log on to it, after you download it, you get to search your area and other places, and you'll get to see how sick your community is. So on a scale of 0 to 100, it'll say your sick score.
Green
and
Bay,
then,
totally sick.
yes, and it'll also show you pinpoint on the map where and when certain illnesses have been reported. So the consumer health person in me is like so excited about this. But
And?
as far as the accuracy, I think there's some work that needs to be done. Rightfully so. A lot of apps go through a lot of different versions or go through different bugs and get rid of them to become perfect. But it sort of does this crowdsourcing thing where it depends on users in the app notifying the app of their illness, as well as monitoring social media for mentions of sickness. So Jeff, if you post a picture of you lying at home saying, I'm at home sick with the flu, that thing will actually register in the system. So I think it needs to be more accurate, because right now you'll know that the CDC just upgraded Wisconsin's flu season to severe with several thousand reported cases. So we definitely are not a 2 right
Is that
now.
what they said when
They
we
said
were-
that
we
we
were
are a
2?
2. So a place like New York right now is at an 82. But not just the population there. I think that that population, while bigger, is more likely to use apps. Like we have a
Probably.
population here that maybe wouldn't
We
use it so
are
much.
a little bit, I wouldn't say behind the times, but we are not quite so fast to embrace
Right.
this.
A nice way to say this, I talked to a physician over at Bell and said computer literacy probably has a little bit to do with it. But he said it doesn't really make any sense that any place in Wisconsin with sub-zero temperatures in the winter would be a 2.
So,
or low risk.
are you buying this app or not buying this app as a good use of your downloading
As
of
of-
your memory space?
Okay, I'm obsessed with it, even at its stages where I
Okay.
don't think it's perfect, because it not only tells you about illnesses, it tells you about the symptoms, the diagnosis, treatment, when it's time to call the doctor. So there's a lot of great information on there for you. But I think that if this were to become mainstream, just as his doctor told me, it could really be this fast track to putting out public health information that would otherwise take departments months and years to compile. It could be this real-time thing, but it depends on everyone using it. So we'll see what happens.
We shall see.
Yeah.
So, yes, and hopefully you shall see Exquisite Miniatures sometime soon here at the Neville. Be sure to like and share this video. Be sure to check out the Neville. And we are going to go look at a couple more miniatures.
Yes,
here.
and use the magnifying
Use the
glasses
magnifying
too.
glasses, indeed. So, once again, thanks a lot for tuning in today, and we will see you
tomorrow.